Hey, how's it going, you guys? It's petplatypus here, and it's time to review a couple more episodes of The Legend of Korra, episode 7. This is a pretty good episode. It's essentially, it's called The Aftermath, and it kind of is. The stadium's still fucked up. They're closing the place down, so Bolin and Mako can't stay there anymore. Korra's like, oh, well, you guys can stay at the Air Temple. Tenzin's cool with it and everything. And they're like, oh no, we're already gonna stay at, what's her name's, fuck. Almine? No. Whatever her name is. They're gonna stay at her house, and Korra's like, man, kind of love triangle-ish, but kind of humorous at the same time, so it's not that big of a deal. It's light, so I'm fine with it. And it really wasn't that love triangle-ish. She just kind of is bothered by her because she thinks she's prissy, but she ends up going there and hanging out. They have like a pool, and it's a funny scene with the butler, kind of. They end up racing cars, and this whole time I was thinking, I even kind of thought to myself, I was like, you know, there's this guy named Amon out there, and he's kind of fucking shamalizing motherfuckers. So, you know, you might want to, like, you know, no, but, like, it is kind of weird, though. I mean, yeah, it kind of gives Korra a new perspective on, you know, a rich girl. I'm probably, Almine's probably not her name. I have no fucking clue. Mako's girlfriend. I just watched the fucking episode, and I forgot her name already, but yeah, they kind of are on better terms now, and, you know, that's cool, but I don't think we needed to spend an entire little race sequence. It kind of felt fillerish, not really necessary, filled up a little bit of time that could have been spent on more important things. But the comedy was still good, or whatever. The race just kind of it was unnecessary to me, the racing on the track. I mean, seeing the track was cool, but, you know. But what ends up happening is Korra, overhears this conversation with her dad, Sato, that's his last name, and he's having this shady conversation, and he ends up having a cover story alibi, and no one believes Korra, and formulaic kind of, you know, thing. Obviously, Korra's gonna be right. But I do think it's cool that they did go do the investigation, and it seemed like Korra was wrong, and, you know, and I like that she stood firm with her decision. She was just like, no, I'm sorry, but he's not the man you think he is, and I'm gonna fucking prove it. And I like shit that she stood her ground, and she didn't just fucking, you know, because it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we're not gonna be friends anymore, walks away, and then she's all mopey. It's like, no, she stood up for what she believed in. She said, I don't trust this guy, and I like that. But yeah, what ends up happening is this guy, shady looking dude, but he turns out to be pretty cool. He gives her, not really like cool, but he was a decent guy. He gives her a paper. They meet him under the bridge. Apparently there's a secret factory underneath the mansion, so they send an investigation there. Mako's girlfriend is all pissed off about it because she's like, what if my dad's fine? You guys are assholes. And then you see, oh, Beifong closes her eyes, kicks the ground, and I was like, fuck. Because Toph is like probably my favorite character in the group. Once again, earthbending bias. She's awesome, and just, the blind, or the way the field of vibration, that was epic. And she feels the tunnel underneath. That was beastly. Loved that. And of course, we're seeing more of her abilities and everything, which is cool, and seeing her do stuff that her mom did, it makes sense. But yeah, they end up going down the tunnel. Mako, Bolin, and Mako's girlfriend have to stay there, but they end up going down there anyway, and we see these epic robot Jaeger things, like these fucking like scuba gear looking like front ends, and they're made out of platinum, which apparently they can't metal bend or, you know, earth bend or whatever, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Certain, like, you couldn't do blood bending unless it was like a full moon, or maybe if you're really, really skilled, you could blood bend without a full moon, but in the original series, you needed the full moon. Like, it's just like, you can do specific things, and like lightning is really, you have to learn lightning and have, you know, bypass the heart or whatever, you know, the trickier stuff. And platinum apparently is too tricky for them to fuck with. And yeah, it does turn out that her dad is a scumbag, and everyone gets beat, but we get to see, once again, Beifong just being a beast. We get to see Tenzin being a beast. You guys already know how I feel about epic anime old guys, and Tenzin's not that old, but still. And Korra does some okay stuff, but yeah, they all pretty much get beat by these robots, showing that they're a threat. And yeah, Bolin and Mako and them show up, and yeah, things seem to be going okay, but then what's her name shows up, daughter, and he's talking to her, and he confesses to her and the mom and everything, how, you know, she died and how he had motivation. And she walks up to him, and this could have gone either way. I wouldn't have been mad at the character for siding with her dad, even though her dad is wrong, because sometimes a child will do dumb things for their parents. You know, they'll side with them when they really shouldn't or whatever. But and you can still criticize that to a certain extent. But she decided to shock him, and now he's like arrested or whatever. And the really cool part is that Beifong says she's going to resign from the metal bending, and she says that she hasn't given up. She's just going to do it without the law getting in the way. And I was like, nice, that's good, I like that. And yeah, everyone makes up, you know, it was all, you know, it's like, I'm sorry we didn't believe you, blah, 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 and you guys can still stay there, even she can stay there, you know, Korra's saying all this stuff. So that was, you know, a nice ending or whatever. I like that it wasn't an episode, because there was kind of a formula going where Korra would have a problem, and by the end of the episode she would face that problem, and then it was like kind of like that was kind of like a thing that was happening. There was the fear one, there was the learning the motions one, and just a few like formulaic episodes here and there. And this was still kind of a formulaic episode, but it's still, if it's well done, I can't really, like, oh, it's formulaic, but is it bad? Like, I don't consider formulaic, generic, I don't consider those things bad. They have to be bad from like, okay, where are the plot holes, where are the inconsistencies, where are the severe retcons, you know, it's like that's not happening. So, you know, I'm fine with it overall. I'm still liking Korra a lot. I think this is a good series. But for this episode, I'm probably going to go around 7.5, honestly. I thought the shit they did was really cool. The action was cool, but not some of the best action. It was cool to see Tenzin go in. He was awesome. Beifong's still awesome. The thing she did was awesome. But it wasn't as consistent or stretched out enough to be like, oh my god, this episode's amazing. It was like a 7.5 episode. It was a good episode, but I mean, the racing kind of slowed it down. Not really necessary. They could have bonded in a different kind of way. Could have had like a quick conversation or something. Hell, what would have been more interesting is if she was like, I've taken self-defense classes, and maybe they like, not sparred, but like just kind of, I don't know, did something. It would have been more interesting, would have been shorter, but whatever. Yeah, it was a good episode though. I'll give it a 7.5, and now I'll move on to episode 8. Okay, you guys, so episode 8 of Korra. Wow, this was damn good. So it starts out with everyone moving in, and some funny scenes here and there, I guess, with the kids being kind of funny, and, you know, it's like, hey, did you know Korra liked Mako? And that was kind of a funny scene and whatever. The little guy, the boy, he was funny at first, but the fart joke was like, really? A fart joke, Avatar? Really, though? Really, though? A fart joke? I'm done. I'm done with that. That was lame. But what ends up happening is we see the new police chief, because Beifong stepped down, and he's working with fucking scum. He's, oh my god, Pariston 2.0. Even though Pariston, even Pariston wasn't this fucked up, but still, at least what we saw of Pariston, he wasn't this fucked up. But yeah, Tarlok is just a motherfucker right now. He's like on some fucking like fuck all non-benders. They're like, you know, suspicious and blah blah blah, and this curfew and all these heavy strict rules. And Korra's not pleased, and the police chief is sucking his dick practically, so that sucks. And you got the nodding yes men of the council who always just like, that's their role in the entire series, just raise their hand for Tarlok. But anyways, you got Team Avatar. Everyone teams up because they don't like how, you know, Tarlok's doing shit. They want to become like their own little vigilante superhero kind of thing. They go fight equalists. They have a car, and even what's-her-name is actually getting in on the combat with the electric glove and everything, so that was pretty cool. Really awesome chase through the city. That was really badass. Tarlok's not pleased with them doing what they're doing. He says this is your last chance. Then there's this rally, and there's innocent people, and they're going to get arrested, and they're like, fuck that. Then everyone gets arrested except for Korra. She stands down, and, you know, so she doesn't get arrested. They're not going to set them free, and, you know, she basically ends up going to confront Tarlok, and she's confronting him, and they're talking, and he's like, you know, I'll let them go. You just need to fall in line. And she's like, no, I'm not going to fall in line. And he's like, well, fuck. And she compares him to Amon Shyamalan, and he's like, fuck, you don't compare me to that shitty fucking director. No, I'm joking, but he fucking goes waterbending on her ass. They get into a pretty cool fight, some cool slow-mo. He's shooting little ice daggers. She gets kind of cut up. Not like any heavy blood, because Nickelodeon, but it's fine. She's using all three elements, but he's putting up a decent fight at first, but she ends up, you know, fucking him over. Then he blood bends. And I'm like, yo, whoa. And then she says, it's not a full moon, how are you doing that? And he's like, there's stuff you don't know about me. why. I mean, it could have just been a full moon, unless this is actually going to go somewhere. We'll see. But him bloodbending was awesome. I think bloodbending is a really cool technique. It's a very dark technique for Avatar. So it was cool that he did that. Now Korra is caught and she's going to be sent somewhere. You know, you're going to sleep with the fishes, girl. Like you say goodbye to Republic City. And that's a big cliffhanger ending. You know, all the main characters are arrested. She's going off somewhere. And it's pretty much, you know, everyone's pretty much fucked right now. The city's fucked under these new laws. And fucking, motherfucking Pariston over here. Motherfucking, fuck. I just said his name so many times. Tarlock. This motherfucker is on like a winning streak right now, but we'll see where things go. It was definitely a very good episode. Character development, not that strong. Beginning had some, you know, the light fluff comedy, whatever, not really anything relevant, but it wasn't as long as, like, you know, the previous episode with the driving and the swimming pool. It didn't drag like that. And, like I said, the chase and the car chase was really cool. I like these new rules that the city is doing and everything. Tarlock's a scumbag, but it's definitely a very good episode. I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10 for this episode. I did really enjoy it, and it'll be interesting to see how everything gets resolved, because they did end up fighting. But when you're talking about like fixing the city like this, and you know the bending and should benders be here and equalists and blah blah blah, you can't just beat the bad guys, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just beat the equalists, because to be honest, their position isn't that far off. I mean, equality meaning no more benders, everyone's just normal, and certain people can get behind that, especially when the police force is being fucking, you know, the way they are right now, and they're metal benders. And we didn't get to see Beifong in this episode, which kind of sucks, because I wanted to see her little covert fucking against the law kind of fucking thing, but, you know, it's whatevs. It was a good episode, though. I'm going to go 8.5. I really enjoyed it. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys thought of these episodes in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.